As soon as I saw those flashing lights, I knew I was in trouble. As you may already know, I'm a very law-abiding citizen. Yet there are a couple of things I do that bend the rules sometimes. I drive 10 miles over the speed limit, I have my windows tinted, and I also don't have a front license plate. I'm in New Jersey, and it's a state that requires a front license plate. Unfortunately, any car with a front license plate looks hideous, in my opinion, so obviously I've been running without it. But the other day I was driving from dropping off my kids at school in the morning when I saw a police car on the side of the road, and as soon as I passed him, I knew I was in trouble. He followed me for a little while. I knew he was probably reading my tags and getting info about me. The lights turned on. As soon as I saw the lights in my rearview mirror, I pulled over to the side, dropped my mirrors, turned the car off, put my hands on the steering wheel, and started talking with the police officer. And that's right, I was pulled over for not having a front license plate. Luckily, the police officer was super friendly. He was very understanding, and because of the fact that I live in the area, he let me go, but he asked that I fix it, or he kind of let me know that if I don't fix it, I'll be pulled over quite a lot, just to sort of hassle me until I do it. So, in the spirit of me not being hassled all the time, I've decided to come up with a solution that many people use out there. I've been trying to stay away from it for a while, but it seems like I am being forced to do it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my license plate here. Just kidding. I'll be putting my license plate in the front, but before I tell you about my mounting solution, I'm going to tell you about some of the other solutions that I looked into. I once purchased a tow hook bracket, which actually mounts into this area. Basically, this sort of unhooks. Oh, I got some wax over here. It drills into here and it stays straight, but it keeps the plate kind of off-centered. It keeps it here, it keeps it there, keeps it up or down. It kind of looks not very proportional if you ask me, and it sort of too JDM-y for my liking. And a lot of times if you have parking sensors, it can interfere with the parking sensors. I actually made a video about it a long time ago, a video that I've never published since I wasn't very excited about the topic. Oh, you can also mount it like this. But today I am very excited about the topic because I found a solution that's going to work very, very well for me. And that solution is this mount that clips to a surface underneath. Basically, you have this L bracket here, and this L bracket allows you to mount the plate at the bottom of a surface. So technically this solution works for most cars out there. You can mount it if you dare here. You can mount it underneath here, but in my case, I'm going to be mounting it here. And what's cool about this solution is the fact that if you don't want to use it, you basically take it out. See, it comes out of these two hooks, and the only thing you see is this black sort of piece at the bottom that you can barely notice. So if you go to car shows, if you go to car meets, if you want to enjoy a clean look of your front, you can do that. But if you know you go into an area that sort of enforces these things, you can simply clip your plate in and obey the rules once again. There are other kits out there that put a similar mounting bracket onto the grill. I didn't want to do this because I feel like I don't want to attach anything to the grill. It will be kind of shaky. I wanted something that attaches to the actual bumper of the car, which is I went with this solution. To mount it, the kit comes with a bunch of screws and an alcohol pad because the bracket itself has a double-sided 3M tape that you use to stick, and you have an optional screw that you can screw under, and the beauty of it is you will never see that screw hole because it's under the bumper. I'm going to see one after I attach it to see how strong the adhesive is and whether or not we need the actual screw or not. If I were to use a screw, I will use actually something smaller, kind of like this, my mud flap screw. So I have it handy just in case. The screw that comes with the kit is very, very thick. I mean, it's way, way too thick. So if I were to use the screw, I will use something thinner. So let's first clean the area with an alcohol pad. We're gonna let it dry for a few seconds. While it dries, we're going to mount the actual plate onto the bracket because it'll help us align it evenly. So, the way it works is it's super simple. You put the screws from the back, and then from the front, you've got these little nut here that goes over, and it matches perfectly. And then to tighten it, you hold the screwdriver in the back and use a 10mm wrench. Let's see. Okay. Once the plate is attached, what we're going to do is we're going to put this little attachment here. The only thing is you've got a little notch here. There's a notch in this hole, so you want to match the notches. And then you pull this clip out, and it allows you to clip it in place. There you go. And now we can guide the plate where it should be mounted. In my case, I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to see where the center position is, see how the spacing is, and actually what's cool about it is this backing can press against the grill, which means I can center it and I can position it sort of parallel to the bumper. Now to find the center. So luckily New Jersey plates have a little marking here that's in the center, so I'm going to use that marking. I also have a little marking here from a previous plate, so I know exactly where the center is. So now let's just match these two. All right, now that I know that it fits, we're going to remove the backing of the 3M tape. And now we want to make sure we do this right. So we'll bend it forward first. Once again, align the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. How uneventful was that? Okay, we just attached a front plate to my car, something that I thought I would never do. Given how strong the glue is, I don't think I'm gonna use the screw. The more I can avoid drilling holes in the bumper, the better. But check this out. So you're driving on the highway, this is actually gonna hold up very well. You pull up to a car show, or before the car show, a couple of blocks away, you wanna be that cool person without a front license plate. You pull the little knob, bam, license plate comes off, and you got a front bumper that's super clean. The only thing, look, I'm doing it in live mode. The only thing you see at the bottom are these two little hinges, you see? 1 and 2, which are barely noticeable. And trust me, in photos or videos, no one will ever see it. So this is what you will look like without the plate. And this is what you will look like with the plate. Check this out, 2 seconds to install, bam. So if you were in the position of having to mount your front license plate, at least temporarily, this is by far the best solution I've seen out there. You don't have to mount it on the side and be a Mitsubishi Evolution driver. You don't have to mount it anywhere else. You have this L bracket that uses very strong 3M tape, and as I mentioned, you can put it under any surface. In my case, it works perfectly. I'm mounting it like this. Now, since I'm going to be driving the car to a car show, I'm going to remove it and put it aside. But next week, when daycare resumes again, I'll be putting it back on so I can save the time of our precious police force. And on that note, thank you very much for watching. If you're looking for this solution, I'm going to link it down in the description for you, and as I mount it again to show you how quickly it takes me to put it together. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.